They call it the off-season, but for the NHL's elite, this ain't no vacation club.
A lot of people are going to see this and think we're absolutely insane.
It comes down to willpower, how bad you want it.
I think you're working hard, and are you really though? And for me, with Ben, it pushes me to my limits.
If you take a day off, there's someone out there that's not, and you got to stay dedicated if you want to be the best player possible.
See how Marty St. Louis, Ryan Shannon, Steve Downey, and Steven Stamkos pay the price to be the best on Inside the Lightning, the off-season. You work hard. How dedicated are you? How badly do you want to be the very best? Welcome. I'm Paul Kennedy. Here in the summer months at Prentiss Performance Hockey, you will not believe to what extreme Marty St. Louis and newcomer Ryan Shannon are driven in pursuit of excellence. For most, spending their summers along Connecticut's Gold Coast, Darien is an idyllic, serene setting. For Marty St. Louis, it's that and more. Already an NHL All-Star, having won the Hart, Ross, and Pearson Awards with his name engraved on the Stanley Cup, in 2007, St. Louis entered this unassuming downtown storefront in a focused effort to take his body and his game to a higher level.
I've always tried to keep up or stay ahead, and somehow I felt that to do that at this particular time, I needed somebody to lean on, and I called my agent. I said, can you find me somebody? I'm going to be in Connecticut now full time, and luckily I ended up on Ben.
How hard are you going to have to drive yourself today, or to what point are you going to try to get to today?
Well, you'll see. I get to almost like throwing the white towel, almost. We just don't throw it.
When you have an athlete like Marty who's at such a high level already, it's my job to continually push the bar. So I have to continually challenge him, workout after workout, summer after summer, to enable him to go further and further. You want this one up? You can't just train for heart rate or VO2 every exercise because he won't get stronger, so we mix and blend things. So right now he's working strength and power, and then when he gets outside he'll be working more heart rate. Okay.
This is power and explosion as it translates to the ice?
Yeah, your first few strides, it's all about jumping out of the hole, The only way to get more power is to get stronger.
Ready to roll. The premise of this in eccentric training is to recruit more motor units. So the more motor units you recruit, the stronger he'll get. The stronger he gets, the faster he'll get. Slower up top.
Yeah.
You don't want to get to here.
I know.
And so it's 7, 6,
yeah.
5.
Okay.
I'd rather have you drop in the bottom and explode up.
Okay.
When you put the hooks on, you can basically do 110% of your 1 rep max. So whatever's on the bar, as we get on, will be the heaviest he can lift, but then we can eccentrically load more weight. So when the hooks come off, he's then concentrically coming up with his 1 rep max, but he's going down with more weight than he ever would be able to use. For layman's terms, this is a very good way of getting strong very quickly.
5 more sets.
When you're doing plyometrics, you're constantly trying to increase the intensity. 5, 6, 7, done. Good. Very good. So here, you raise the weights as long as his form and tempo is good. You increase the weight as long as his form and tempo off the ground is good. We raise the height.
I just feel like he finds a way to push you to the limit, You think you're working hard, and are you really though? And for me, with Ben, I know, he pushes me to my limits. And I didn't know I had those limits until I started training with Ben.
So he's got 395.
Going down.
Going down. And then he's got 325 coming up. Punch! Nice. Good. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
That's close.
Yep. Good. All right, that's it.
The power work is through, but for the 36-year-old St. Louis, the second half of today's battle is waged outside, under the summer sun, where he'll test his heart, his legs, and his will on the asphalt.
Remember, right out of here. Pop, 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 pop. Quick feet. Quick feet. That's it. What's going to allow him to stay lower in his stride. It's going to allow him to be faster for a longer time. Nice. That's good speed. One down. You got 5 seconds. Here we go. Chop. Good. It's a very uncomfortable feeling, so we try to make that lactate feeling as comfortable as possible. So the more he can repeat this effort that he's doing each time, you repeat it, he's able to perform better on the ice.
When I'm done, though, and I'm driving home, it's the best feeling.
Ready?
There's nothing harder physically. You know, so you figure if you do everything harder
No let up
here,
here now. Let's go.
everything else should look a little easier, I guess.
This is it right here. Let's go. Finish it. Right to me. Come on. Speed. Come on, Marty. Done. You see how every set he was fast and explosive. If we continued, he would start to slow down. See, he can hardly walk right now anyway.
This is the embarrassing moment. Just the legs are so so much lactic acid. Yeah, it's so uncomfortable. It's just like a good 15 minutes before you start feeling normal again. It's in your legs and right here. I know I'm really working hard. I can say I worked hard today, you know, because hard work is, what is hard work? You know, everybody's got a different definition of hard work, and I know that Ben's hard work definition is up there. I feel that I'm well prepared for, you know, from the camp starts and the season starts.
His heart is immeasurable. It's important for him to do this, absolutely, especially allowed him to have 99 points and continue at such 37, 38, 39, and if we train the right way, he's going to keep going.
Later on Inside the Lightning, we travel north of the border to see how an NHL vet molds two important members of the Tampa Bay roster. And next, up close with one of the newest Bulls, Ryan Shannon. In July of 2011, the Tampa Bay Lightning added a new face to the roster, signing forward Ryan Shannon. Known as a first-class skater with good skills and a strong understanding of the game, Shannon played collegiately at Boston College and, undrafted, signed with the Anaheim Ducks as an unrestricted free agent in 2005. He cracked the Ducks roster a year later and ended his inaugural NHL campaign by raising Lord Stanley's Cup. Next, Shannon skated in Vancouver and spent 2 seasons in Ottawa. Now the Darien, Connecticut native is excited about playing in Tampa Bay alongside his summer training partner, Marty St. Louis. Shannon began training with Ben Prentiss about 2 years before St. Louis. And the younger player, who sported jersey number 26 in a tribute to Marty, was at a loss for words when the NHL All-Star joined the gym.
I was starstruck and didn't say anything to him for probably 2 or 3 weeks. But being an undersized player with the success that he had, especially in 2004 when I was in college, watching the NHL playoffs, you just see the determination and the commitment that he has to winning. Just try to learn from him.
Although some exercises will cross over, we definitely tweak each workout specific for them and for what they're trying to do. Their games are very similar in that they both rely on speed, elusiveness and being explosive at certain times. So we give them similar exercises in that manner, and then sometimes, depending on what issues they have to address, we'll give them different stuff.
Okay.
I'm going to chalk that up to camera nerves.
That's it.
It's a new experience.
The adrenaline.
He's so focused that sometimes you think something's wrong with him because he's just so focused on what he's doing. And sometimes he gets in his own head and maybe won't say a word for the whole workout, but that's just because he's just so driven in what he's doing.
Hockey players, the good ones, are obsessed about constantly getting better, trying to persistently find ways to get an edge. And as dedicated as the athletes are to perfecting their craft, Ben is that way at trying to build the perfect athlete. He never gets complacent. He's always looking for a better way to do things, a more efficient way to get things done.
With the change, he's pulling a variable resistance, so the chains weigh 25 pounds each, but the chains change weight as he pulls. The feeling would be like if you're pulling a bar out of water almost. So it's really hard on the bottom, and then it gets lighter as he pulls up heavier. So it forces him to increase his bar speed to pull the bar even faster. Then he's going right to a ballistic movement right here, so we're looking for that quick counter reaction here. There you go. And then he's going to a nonlinear plyometric movement, or lateral box jump.
It's max power output. When it's go time and you're kind of at a standstill, whether it's a face-off or you feel a race for the puck, you feel like your engine's been upgraded and you can just go after it. It's kind of like adding a turbo to the engine. And then this is just quickness, the jumps.
Last set, Shannon, here we go. Big jump. Hold. Good. Hold.
3. With the power work complete, the outside beckons.
You work hard inside, but that's kind of like the warm-up. Mentally, once you step outside, that's kind of like, that's when the battle begins.
Here we go. Good.
You have to love the game. It's a passion that's deep inside you. A lot of people are going to see this and think we're absolutely insane. You know, it's our free time in the summer. Why don't you just go to the beach and relax? But it's something that drives us. I notice on days where I don't do those things, you know, whether it's a Wednesday and it's a day off or a Sunday, sometimes you don't feel right. I like to know that I put my work in, I'm preparing and taking steps towards my goal.
There you go, Shanny.
You guys tired yet?
There you go. That's it. Good. Butt down. Come on. Time. That's a wrap.
Who invented this thing? Thanks, guys.